So in this video, I'm going to explain to you the most commonly asked questions when it comes to getting your dealer license and how I can help you get your dealer license, or you can just go get it on your own. I just want to simplify everything for so you can really understand what an independent car dealer is. Right here, I have some bullet points. This is going to be a longer sort of video. So buckle up, pay attention. I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Caleb Butler. I've had my dealer license for the last 7 years. I bought and sold thousands of vehicles, all from the comfort of my own home. And I've also showed it on TikTok for the last 2 years, Instagram and YouTube, showing you guys what I do. And many people have been interested to be able to do the same things that I do. So now I'm able to offer it to you or teach you how you can get it on your own as well. So like I said, I have a lot of experience with this, and all these bullet points I've created to go ahead and simplify these commonly asked questions a lot of people ask me over the last 2 years of me doing this process. So we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you for watching this video. Before I start, go ahead and comment and also subscribe if you're interested in content like this. I know my handwriting is some shit, so I'll go ahead and edit and put the question on top right here. You'll be able to see it, and I'll also add an infographic on some of these points as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Does the dealer license need to be from your state? So the way a dealer license works is pretty much like a CDL, and I've said this in prior videos before. It's really similar to how a CDL works. It's a license that you'll be able to operate to get into the auction so you can start buying cars. A dealer license is just a license so you can go to these government auctions, these dealer-only auctions, so you can start buying and selling cars. I compare it to a CDL because a CDL you can operate in all 50 states. It's the same thing with a dealer license. I have my dealer license from Arkansas, West Virginia, and Georgia, and I live in Virginia. It doesn't really matter where you're living at. You can get your dealer license in any state and still be able to operate in any state. There are some ropes that you have to go through. For example, let's say me, I have a Georgia dealer license. Let's say I were to sell a vehicle to somebody in Georgia. I would have to sell at the physical location where my office is at in Georgia to be able to sell them a vehicle. But if I'm selling to an out-of-state client, let's say I'm selling to a Virginia client, I'm in Virginia, but I have a Georgia dealer license, that's completely fine. You could sell that vehicle to that Virginia resident without having to go to that physical location in Georgia. That's the beautiful thing about being an independent car dealer. You'll be able to operate in all 50 states. And a lot of people have this question. This stops a lot of people from getting it from me just due to the fact that they're not aware of the fact that it's just a license so you can get an auction access card. And this auction access card is literally just that. It's a card so you can get into auctions and start accessing them and purchasing vehicles at a wholesale price. So that's my first, that's like most commonly asked question. My next one is, how do dealer plates work? I actually have a couple dealer plates right here. These are dealer plates that I have from the state of Arkansas. I also have dealer plates from West Virginia, Florida, Virginia, multiple other states. But the way a dealer plate works is when you go and purchase a vehicle from a dealer-only auction, you're going to want to be able to drive and operate that vehicle. So the first thing you're going to want to do is put a dealer plate on it. That way you're able to drive this vehicle without having to worry about getting pulled over, getting stopped, worry about registration, safety inspection, things like that. You'll be able to take it to your mechanic, take it to your house, take it to your body shop, take it to your tire shop, do all these things with the vehicle without having to worry. Some states, it's like a handful of states, 2 or 3 states that are very strict when it comes to dealer plates. You're only able to operate them if you're coming to or from a place of work, whether it's a mechanic shop or the auction itself. But for the most part, I've been driving on my dealer plate for the last 7 years. I had no issues. When I get pulled over, I'm saying, hey, this is one of my demo vehicles. I'm just test driving it, and they let me go every single time. You'll get a registration with the dealer plate, and you'll be able to operate on that dealer plate. Next, insurance and bond qualifications. Okay. For you to qualify for commercial insurance, you need to have a decent driving record over the last 3 years. This is kind of important. If you have, driving tickets like more than like 3 or 4, you probably won't get approved for commercial insurance, or your rate will be extremely high. This is extremely important that clients, we've had clients that before, had driving records. What we would do is we'll go ahead and just put it under a family member's name or something like that to make it work. We will be able to work with you. But this goes for if you were to set it up yourself as well, same kind of instance, you will need a decent driving record. Also, your bond. You cannot have any bankruptcies over the last 7 years to be approved for a bond. The way a bond works, essentially, they are going to check if you have any bankruptcies or on your credit. So they're going to do a soft pull, and pretty much it's like a $25,000 bond that you only have to pay, right? So it's $250. But this bond is essentially the bond company will come after you if you do not pay, like, bounce. Like, you just start the dealer license and you completely disappear. The bond company will come recoup the funds of the money that you owe on your account. Let's say you buy a car from the auction and you don't pay for the car, and then you ghost your license. The bond company will come after you to recoup that $25,000 loss that you guarantee that you will insure to recoup on. So the question is, what is arbitration? How does it work? So actually, I'm going through arbitration right now with a Hellcat that I have purchased. There was a 2022 wide body Hellcat that I purchased from a smaller dealer, but they were selling it on OVE at Mannheim. And the vehicle, so OVE just means online vehicle exchange. What happened was the car got a check engine light. So I went ahead and took it to the dealership. Got a quote on it to repair it. So it's through the arbitration process right now. So OVE will allow you to purchase a vehicle online. You get 200 miles or 10 days, whichever comes first for the arbitration. So I put an arbitration in it. I'm waiting to hear from Mannheim. It takes some time. So basically, it's kind of like a warranty. Like, let's say there's a problem on the vehicle over $800, I can essentially return the vehicle, get my money off on the vehicle as well. And really a great process. I'll go more in depth. I also have a bullet point talking about a post-sale inspection. But arbitration, like I said, you can arbitrate. I arbitrated recently. I had a BMW M2. The title didn't come in for 30 days. I went ahead and took it back to the auction. They gave me my money back in full, and I put almost 1,000 miles on the car. Absolutely insane. What are reassignments? Reassignments are something that a wholesale and a retail dealer license will get. Basically, on the back of a title, I have a title right here. If there's no more spots on the back of the title anymore, you'll go ahead and be able to use a reassignment to go ahead and reassign ownership of the vehicle. So there's two types of reassignments. There's a wholesale reassignment. Like I said, if there's spots ran out on the back of the title, you could use that reassignment. But if you want to reassign to somebody to the public, you'll need a retail reassignment. And this will allow you to sell directly to the public if there's no more spots on the back of the title. The reassignment is just another form of ownership. It'll allow you to be able to sell the vehicle and have proof of documentation of what you're doing with that vehicle. All right, the next question is, how do you sell the vehicles? So you can use Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, Auto Trader, or even OfferUp to be able to sell your vehicles. And how you're going to do it is you're going to advertise it, you're going to take pictures of it, make sure it's really well detailed, and then you're going to create a really good description. Don't use ChatGPT. Go ahead and type it up yourself because people can tell. Then once you created that, you'll be able to go ahead and post it, take offers, meet up with someone, and then what you're going to do is fill out 3 forms. You're going to fill out a bill of sale, you're going to fill out the title, and you're also going to fill out the reassignment. 9 times out of 10 doesn't need to be filled out if you purchase it from the auction and you're using a reassignment. But I will go over that more in depth on how to sell vehicles and do the paperwork inside my school community. It'll be the top link inside of my bio if you have any questions on how to sell a vehicle. Okay, and I also said where to sell as well. The way temp tags work. So if you want to get issued a temp tag, the way you can get a temp tag is all you need to do is make sure that the client that's purchasing the vehicle from you has proof of insurance. Once you get the proof of insurance and an ID, you'll be able to get issued a temp tag. It'll either be 45 or a 60-day temp tag, and we issue them from the state of Texas. So temp tags are pretty straightforward. The way floor plans work. So I have people that are getting floor plans right now for a $50,000 limit through Mannheim and through Next Gear Capital. So Next Gear Capital is a subsidiary of Mannheim or Cox Automotive Group, and they basically will lend you money to go ahead and purchase vehicles, but you do need over a 700 credit score. But let's say you purchase a vehicle on a floor plan, and you got a $50,000 limit, you buy a car for $7,000, that vehicle will start incurring interest immediately. So it does take a while for it comes to regards of the vehicle. You can lose money on it. And I never use floor plans personally. It's a slippery slope. I do not recommend it if you're just a beginner. But if you know what you're doing, you know how to make money, you know about vehicles, you know how to save money on other avenues, like whether it's fixing it yourself or doing body work yourself, I do recommend it for you. It'll be a great opportunity for you to go ahead and leverage your capital and leverage your own other people's money. Carfax. Carfax is extremely important. Honestly, it changed. I got Carfax 4 years ago. It changed the game for me completely because now instead of going in blind, I know exactly what I was buying when I was going to the auction. I'll look at the vehicle history. I would be able to tell how many owners the vehicles had, the vehicle like reports, whether it's body damage, things like that. It's so important to have an educated buying process. When you're buying a vehicle from the auction, it will help you so much when purchasing a vehicle from the auction. Carfax, we have it inside my community. You can get unlimited Carfax reports. It's super helpful, absolute game changer. How to make money off your license. So this is a question that a lot of people ask inside my community, and I teach you how to do this. The way it is, let's say you get an independent license. I have two different independent packages. I have an independent retail and also an independent wholesale. You can add people to your auction access account. And when you add people to your auction access account, you can charge a fee for them to go to attend to these auctions and purchase vehicles from the auction. You can either charge them a monthly fee or a fee per vehicle. Whichever works out for you, you can negotiate. But having your independent license, you're a walking dealership, you can add anyone you want to your dealer license. So once you add them to your dealer license, for me, for example, I have 5 people on my dealer license. I charge them $500 a month. I'm making $2,500 a month passively just being a license holder. Okay, now connections. This is extremely important because if you do not have connections, you will be going blind. And you can make these connections at the dealer-only auctions just by walking up to somebody like, hey, how you doing? I just getting started. My name is so-and-so. I want to go ahead and, mechanic, do you have any mechanic body shops? They will point you in the right direction because body shops and mechanics always need work. This is extremely important, especially finding a good mechanic. I have a story where I went to a mechanic. I gave him a job to swap an engine. I still have the title for the car, and I like 6 years ago. The guy's business went under. The engine seized on the car. He said he was going to replace it. I gave him $2,500 to get a new engine. He went ahead and bought another car. He swapped the engine. It didn't work. This dude was a mess. I took the L. At the end of the day, it was a $5,000 L. But you really need to do your due diligence when it comes to mechanics because mechanics are some of the most slimy people ever. Now, understanding announcements. So there is announcements at different auctions, but I'll give you generally what they most mean, right? So green light means that the seller guarantees a vehicle is fine. Yellow light means drive with caution. Red light means sold as is. And then blue light means that there's an announcement from the seller. So when you're buying a vehicle green light, you're able to get a post-sale inspection. And a post-sale inspection can either be 7 or 14 days. This will allow you to go ahead and return the vehicle if there's any major issues over $800, but you need to make sure that you look at the auction's arbitration clause before you move forward with it. Manheim has a really good arbitration clause, ADESA as well. Those are the only two that I'm really familiar with. But like I said, the announcements are extremely important. So if a vehicle has a green light, you'll be able to go ahead and return it if there's a major issue. Now, if it has a yellow light, this means ride with caution. There might be an engine knock. There could be issues with it that the seller hasn't announced, but the auction had wants you to make you aware that, you drive this vehicle with caution. Now, red light means as Manheim, ADESA, vehicles over 100,000 miles are usually just sold as is, depending on the year. So red light, a lot of red light cars, they're perfectly fine, but most auctions, they don't do a guarantee. Vehicles are sold with red light that they're sold as is. And then blue light is an announcement from the seller, for example, let's say aftermarket exhaust or things like that. It does depend from auction, but that is just a general synopsis of what it could mean. Now, post-sale inspection. I know I went over this briefly a couple times, but a post-sale inspection is very important. You could pay for a 7 or 14 day, and then you get either 150 miles or 200 miles to be able to figure out if you want to return the vehicle if there's any issues over $800. The auction, after you purchase a vehicle, you get a post-sale inspection. They're going to inspect the vehicle themselves. And then after they approve the post-sale, you'll be able to take it out. And if there's any issues over $800, you can return that vehicle with no questions asked. Now, online buying protection. OVE and ADESA both have this. It's a 7-day for ADESA and a 10-day for Manheim, where if you buy a vehicle online, you pay that online buyer fee, and you will be able to get either 200 miles or 7 days to return the vehicle if there's any major issues. And that's what I'm going through with right now when it comes to my wide body Hellcat. Now, payment for the auction. We're wrapping up this video right now. Thank you for staying all the way to the end of this video. Go ahead and drop a like as well if you made it here. Lastly, when you want to pay the auction, you can do it 2 ways. You can do it through ACH. So if you're going the independent route, right, you can set up your bank accounts to get it directly withdrawn from your bank account, or you could do a cashier's check. If you have people, you're adding people to your license, tell them to do a cashier's check. All they need to do is make it out to ADESA or Manheim. And if you're a dealer rep under one of my programs, you could just use a cashier's check and pay directly at the auction. I appreciate you for watching this video. I know it was a very long-winded video, longer video than I usually do, But thank you for staying this entire video. I appreciate it. Go ahead and like and subscribe as well. If you have any questions, message me on Instagram.